is Pro Wrestling Summit. You already know what it is. Knowledge.
Tatum.
How you doing, bro?
Living the dream, as always.
Yeah, pleasure to see you.
It's always nice to be seen.
This fine Friday.
Yeah, well.
Beautiful out.
Yeah. I mean, it's been a nice week. Better week in wrestling than we've seen since WrestleMania. So that's good.
You think so?
I think this week was definitely better than last week.
Really? That's how you're taking it, huh?
With Raw, at least they gave us something new this week.
They did give us something new.
And NXT.
What's that saying? Something old, something borrowed, something new, something blue, or something?
I don't know. We're not getting married. Who cares? Isn't that the marriage thing? Like something.
I don't
old, something
fucking
new,
know.
something
What the?
borrowed,
I'm asking
blue.
you. You're the smart one.
I think that's the marriage thing. Something when you get married, the women are supposed to have something old, something new, something borrowed, something blue. It's like a good luck thing.
And the husbands are left with something blue. Balls.
Yeah, and then eventually paying half of their shit in alimony. So,
once in your life, when love. No, little Christopher Cross.
Just take a look at wrestling if you for your relationship advice. Getting married never works out.
Unless you're married to a wrestler.
Yeah, or unless you're Stephanie McMahon. So
she married a wrestler.
Yeah, but she
in the
also,
business. If you're in the business with the other person, it has a tendency to work out a little bit better.
But also, H isn't leaving her for anybody. You know, I mean, he
was with China.
Well, but left China for Steph. So,
right, upgrade.
Yeah. Right,
total upgrade.
Yeah, because she's still alive. So.
Oh man. You're a fucking dastardly motherfucker.
I mean, is she not dead? Come on.
She is.
Yeah.
So it's WWE Saturday. Happy Saturday morning.
Starting off the wall here.
Jesus Christ.
We record this before SmackDown, as we tell you every week. So please don't, give us shit for anything we miss on SmackDown. Because apparently they like pulling some bullshit.
Well, this week's the draft.
Oh yeah, the
start of the draft.
Yeah, and that'll be nice to talk about next week.
Yep, it'll be great to talk about.
Yeah.
But in the clips portion, dropping at noon Eastern Standard Time, 10 o'clock Pacific, 9 o'clock Pacific. Jesus Christ, I had a fucking aneurysm there for a second. 9 o'clock Pacific. You will be able to listen to our thoughts on the expected WWE cuts. Yeah. That's coming up later on today. It's going to
be a bad day for some
it's going to be a bad day. But in WWE land, it was a minor upgrade from how the show the week previous went. I mean, anything is a minor upgrade from that. At least there were some semblance of fresh matchups going on.
Yeah, it's interesting. I don't know where WWE gets their ideas, but the idea of pitting factions against other factions of wrestlers and having factions actually mean something. I don't know where they might have gotten that idea, but
yeah, that's fucking crazy, right?
Yeah, it's just somebody in the writing room just came out of the blue with that one.
Somebody who watches Wednesday night.
Yeah. But
sorry, H, but I'm just fucking stating facts, bro. You're totally fucking ripping off what they're doing, and
sometimes TK needs his due, So
I mean, hey man, this isn't AEW time, but I will say that you know what? I'm not even gonna say that yet.
All I'm gonna say is AEW's been doing factions for 2 years now, and
since their inception,
right,
they have been involved in the faction game,
right, and now WWE is starting to realize that there's something to do there. I thought it was interesting with the idea of, hey, Judgment Day, you take care of our problem, we'll take care of your problem.
Yeah.
I like the fact that the Bloodline was kind of able to take care of Judgment Day's faction, but what the hell do you do at Judgment Day now? They are useless. They continue to lose. You had Dominic lose to his father at WrestleMania. You had Finn lose yet again to Edge at WrestleMania.
Where has Edge been? Where's Edge?
No idea.
Just disappeared.
He wins and he's gone. Finn's back. He had 14 staples in his head, but he's back. Edge is not. And then, you have Judgment Day lose to KO, Riddle, and Sammy. I'm not saying that's the wrong decision, but Judgment Day doesn't win. Since Edge has been gone, Judgment Day does not win a single thing.
Since you've been gone!
So what is Judgment Day even around for?
Judgment Day just beat just beat Santos. Damian Priest just beat Santos.
Yeah, so one person in Judgment and Rhea winning the women's title.
Yeah, which he should beat Santos Escobar.
Right.
Handily. Santos Escobar maybe weighs 180 pounds.
Yep.
And Damian Priest does a hell of a job bumping around the ring for smaller guys.
Which he shouldn't do, but... You know.
No, well, you know what, dude? He's not big enough to where it doesn't make sense. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Like, he doesn't... He's very lanky. It's kind of like Malachi Black. Like, he's very long and lanky. He's not like a beefy guy. So it doesn't look like completely out of place. Like when Wardlow or Powerhouse Hobbs like bump around for smaller guys, I go, what the fuck is going on?
I was going to compare him kind of to Solo, but Solo is a little, even though he's smaller, he's a beefier guy.
He is like twice the size of him thickness-wise.
Right. So, yeah, I guess, I don't know, but he's supposed to be the imposing threat in the Judgment Day, so I kind of don't want him to bump around as much. You know?
Well, you also have to understand, though, that he's kind of in The Rock's role when Rock was in Nation of Domination. He kind of is taking the backseat to Dom and to Rhea and to... I mean, Finn's the star.
It's really a shame because he is probably... I mean, Finn is definitely the most talented out of that in that group.
Yeah, dude. But, I mean, it's not even close. Like, you can't even fucking...
But in terms of the men, it's definitely Damian Priest that's like the top tier guy, and he's behind everyone, including Rhea.
Yeah, the problem is that he doesn't know how to get heat.
Yeah,
that's the issue, dude. And like
Dom gets that nuclear heat.
Oh my god, bro! But see, and that's the great thing is that they understood that Dom is the centerpiece of this thing, and they're all gonna get heat, guilty by association. Mm-hmm. So you have to fucking take into account that Finn Balor is definitely the most competent worker. He's not the biggest guy, so he's not like the enforcer. You have the mouth. Rhea Ripley's the enforcer of the group. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And rightfully so.
To see her go toe to toe with Solo, and then Paul Heyman moves Solo. And Jay,
yeah,
and she moves over to. That was awesome. That was a great moment. It's good to see them elevating her.
Listen, man, she's showing that she's not afraid.
Yeah,
and that is a fucking big deal, man. Because if they are ever gonna do something where they have intergender matches, that's the one to do it with.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, listen, dude. I listen to a clip from Click This, Kevin Nash's podcast, and he goes, "Rhea's better than China."
Mm-hmm. Listen, when she clotheslined KO outside of the ring, and he bumped for her, he flipped for her, like any other person in that locker room, any other woman in that locker room, you'd be like, "Oh, come on!" But she has a lot of believability behind that.
It's just like Nia Jax in the Rumble. Mm-hmm. Like there is some believability to that. Yeah. Like Nia Jax can get in there and rough it up with the dudes. Yeah. Like, and I think that's good that WWE recognizes the fact that they have some women that are able to step into that spot where it's not going to be like overtly ridiculous. Mm-hmm. Like, listen, man, if you have Liv Morgan step in the ring with fucking KO and she does that fucking Oblivion, and I mean, what? Like, no, there's no fucking possible way.
Right.
Like even if you suspend disbelief completely,
right?
Like, and we're like talking about supernatural strength and shit. Like, it's just not feasible. Mm-hmm. Like, I wouldn't be into that. Mm-hmm. Rhea Ripley, Nia Jax, I'm into that. Yeah. I wouldn't mind them mixing it up with the dudes. Yeah. And I'm not talking the job guys. I'm not talking Akira Tozawa's of the world. Mm-hmm. Like, I'm talking about legitimate fucking dudes who they can get in there and work a match with. You have to.
I could see Asuka in that type of role. Ronda, obviously. I can see Asuka squaring up with her.
Absolutely not.
Using her athleticism, and
No way.
she's a striker, so
Absolutely
I could see it happening.
No way.
I could see it being made to be believable.
Hard pass.
I'm just saying there's options out there. I think that she's an option.
Drop.
Ronda, when she actually had a little bit of a passion for it, would have been great.
Dude, it's such a fucking farce. It's such a farce, dude. She's there for the money, clearly. She can't fight MMA. Her legacy's been fucking destroyed. She lost 2 fights in a row. She got beat up handily both times.
Yeah.
And that's the fucking end of that, dude. There's no more coming back from that.
Well, when she started off and she, was
She
flipping,
might actually, excuse me for 1 second. She might come back and fight in the UFC now.
You think so?
Oh, yeah, bro. Oh, yeah. There's got to be somebody that's going to go cross-promotional. Brock is just too old. And there's no way he's passing a drug test. Like, he would have to go into USADA testing. And now that they're a giant conglomerate company like that, if he fails a drug test, he fails for WWE too.
Right.
So, like, there's no way to hide that. You know what I'm saying? It's not like the days before they gave, like, a sniff test for steroids.
Right.
It's not like that anymore. They don't do that shit.
Yeah. I think that would be interesting. I mean, if there's going to be any cross promotion, it's got to be going to UFC. You're not going to see UFC stars in WWE. You're just unless it's just a quick squash thing. I mean, you can't go to WWE and lose and go back to UFC.
Yeah. But do you really think? I mean, Logan Paul has and Bad Bunny have set the bar so high. Those guys aren't going to lose. Do you think that a UFC star was like, hey, I want to do something with WWE? You think that they wouldn't put them over immediately against anybody?
Yeah,
they of all people have more legitimacy than anybody else in a wrestling ring. Like, they can fucking tap somebody out in seconds.
My thing is, like, UFC is all about the titles. That's why you fight. You're fighting towards the titles.
Right.
If they're going to come to WWE, you figure they're going to have to challenge for a title. You can't put the title on them if they're not going to be there for the long haul.
Correct.
And if you can't take something off of them.
Correct.
So, other than, maybe fighting against a Brock Lesnar, fighting against...
Fine.
Aside from something like that, I don't really see them doing anything in the WWE because you're just going to get exposed.
I mean, Daniel Cormier will probably do something with Brock in WWE.
Well, definitely
but
retired.
He's an announcer. Yeah, that's what I mean, dude.
Yeah.
Like, it's going to be more like of those retired guys. Because most of these guys are in fucking fight camps and shit. They don't have fucking time to be fucking around trying to learn how to fucking wrestle.
Yeah,
like,
I could.
And it's not like you're going to say to, these new school guys, I'm not going to go to the MMA fight and go, hey, man, just lay it in on me one time because, we got to make it look good. Like, don't pull your punch, dude. This isn't the 80s or the 70s, dude, where guys were like, no, just fucking punch me as hard as you can.
Yeah.
Because it's going to look like shit if you don't, so just fucking tag me for real.
Right.
Like, guys today are like, fuck that, dude. No way. What do you mean hit me? I'm an actor.
Well, I mean, they're already going to have issues with their roster, so I don't know about adding any UFC people anytime soon.
Yeah, I mean they're gonna cut a bunch of people.
Yeah.
And I mean they're gonna cut some people that people are not gonna be happy about. And you know what? The fact is it's a business at the end of the day. You can't keep people who you don't see value in moving forward. And that's the fact of the business. Listen, professional wrestling is no different from any other sport. People get cut. It's the fucking way it goes. Does it suck? Yeah, it sucks for some of these people. But they also have name recognition from being in WWE that they can use to turn around and make money on the indies and hopefully come back to WWE. They don't go on Twitter or fucking Instagram or TikTok and fucking bury the company because then you're not going to be welcome back. And then you're going to go, oh my God, I can't find a job anywhere. Well, you shouldn't have fucking gone on social media and acted like a moron and fucking like tried to throw shade at the company that has been paying you this entire time.
Yeah.
Oh, well, they didn't have good shit for me. Dusty Rhodes got over in polka dots, motherfucker. That's all I gotta say. Dusty Rhodes, He was fucking Dusty Rhodes, and they said, we're going to put you in polka dots. And he said, no problem, baby.
But,
I got you, baby.
It's interesting because gone are the days when, oh, they don't have something for me. Hey, here's an idea that I have for you, for me.
Thank you very much.
You know?
Okay, see, now we're getting into the fucking mix of the things because it's a creativity problem.
Right.
When you take people from athletic backgrounds who are not creative thinkers like that, they're athletic thinkers, it is very, very difficult for them to think of storylines for themselves. And they rely on these writers to just come up with this shit for them. Not only that, but most of these people are so fucking scared to speak up, I'm sure, and be like, this fucking idea blows, and I'm not fucking doing that. I have a better idea that I can make this 10 times better. And they just lay it down for the person. People are not able to just do that anymore for some reason, and I don't understand why. Dude, back in the day, guys would get in the ring with... They didn't even talk to each other beforehand.
Yep.
They knew the finish. That was it. You're going over. You're going to figure it out when you get out there.
Yep.
Do you honestly fucking think that there are very many wrestlers? There is probably maybe a handful, maybe 2 at the most, that could go out there blind and put on a fucking competent match with somebody and just call it on the fly.
Yeah, I mean, you don't see that anymore, and you don't have anybody that calls out bad ideas. Just like this whole faction idea, I think, is a bad idea to do right now.
WWE has never done factions right.
But if you're gonna
except for DX.
If you're gonna do factions, wait until you roll around closer to
the draft. Do the draft first.
Forget the draft. Wait until you roll around closer to Survivor Series, where you can then open it up to War Games. These factions in a War Games match, I mean, that's when you open that up.
Yeah, I mean,
you can't carry this over until Survivor Series.
I mean, that's a long fucking time, bro. I mean, you're going to have to get through SummerSlam first in Detroit. And I don't even know where they're doing Survivor Series, but, I mean...
And the Bloodline's running without Roman right now. They've completely taken Roman out of the picture. And now
well, I mean, you don't need him. I mean, what the fuck do you need him for? You don't need him for anything.
And I get that, but without Roman in the picture, your titles are out of the picture. There's no titles.
See, this is where I think the draft is going to play a huge fucking part in that, because I think they're going to they have to split the titles up.
I don't know if they have the stones to do it. Because then you're talking about people are going to start questioning the record and all that. If they made the move to keep the titles on,
hold on. Wait. Hold on, though. Wait. And what I'm saying by split the titles up is do like what they used to do in the territory days. So essentially you have Raw has, the Raw champion and the United States title or the Intercontinental title or whatever. And they probably do a women's title on that show as well. Switch over to SmackDown. They do a SmackDown title. Intercontinental or US, depending upon what's on the other show. Women's title on that show. And then you have tag team titles are split.
Yep.
One of the other shows gets women's tag titles to match the other show. It adds value to those belts. Each of the shows become, okay, these are the people that we have available for these shows. If they do any cross-promotional stuff beyond the world champion, the guy who's over everybody, Roman, and then you got the trickle-down effect. So, like, Raw and SmackDown would each have their own champion, but Roman would be the universal champion.
Yeah, I think that gets too convoluted at that point, because now you basically have
No.
You have a Universal Champion, but then you have the Raw and SmackDown Champions, which basically become a mid-card champion at that point. But then you also have the mid-card championships with the U.S. and the Intercontinental.
Yeah, but think about this for a second, okay? you have to remember back. Let's just talk about the Attitude Era for 1 second in WWE. Think about how many fucking titles they had in the Attitude Era: Hardcore title, European title, Cruiserweight title, fucking what else? The Divas title, fucking. Tag team titles,
the World Heavyweight
the
Champion,
World Heavyweight Champion,
former WCW,
yeah, like they fucking had
a unified championship. They had Intercontinental, they had US, they had all that stuff.
And think about this for a second: what that would look like with all the new branding on it, all brand new titles with the new branding on it, with Endeavor and the whole shit. People will buy those because it becomes collector's items at this point. It's the first belts that fucking WWE released after it is not owned by a McMahon.
I just think that the smart thing for them to do would be
strip down. I would strip down to bare bones.
Yeah, I would have Roman Reigns, be the number 1 draft pick, whichever brand, and Triple H calls him out and says, "Okay, you were drafted to SmackDown. You have to choose which title is the SmackDown Championship. You have to relinquish one of them."
Interesting.
And then you can have a tournament for the Raw champion, because I'm assuming he's going to go to SmackDown.
Well, it's Friday night,
right?
So you got to think.
I'm assuming he's in. So I'm assuming the Raw championship would be the one that would be abandoned.
Yeah.
And I think it would be interesting to see which one he keeps. Is he going to keep the WWE Championship? Is he going to keep the Universal Championship? That one becomes basically, he's going to claim that one is the championship of the company. And he's not, they're stripping him of the title.
Yeah.
He's not relinquishing it. He didn't lose anything. He's saying that title is beneath me.
Bloodline gets drafted to Raw. Stick with the color scheme.
Yeah.
The whole thing.
I think that'd be interesting.
Usos, Solo gets drafted to Raw. Because you got to keep them together. You got to keep the 3 brothers together. I think it's the right call right now. They're not gonna. None of them are gonna do. The Usos aren't gonna go singles at this point. They're tag team wrestlers.
Especially with this faction stuff. I mean, you can't
break up the bloodline, dude.
Well, you can't break up the bloodline. You can't break up
taking Roman out of it. Fine,
right.
I don't have a problem with that because he's not gonna be around. Like he needs a break.
Right.
He needs to go away for a little while and do something else.
And you know that
sit at home, fucking swim in a pool, fucking do whatever you want. Dude.
You know that he'll still have them interfere in his matches and stuff like that. Like they'll still be involved. They just won't be on that show.
Well, see, but that's the whole problem with the draft is it's not really a draft. If they're still gonna if they're on Raw and Roman's on SmackDown and they're fucking still getting involved in shit, it just defeats the whole fucking purpose.
But that's a typical heel thing, though. They're not supposed to be there. They can be chased out by security. They can constantly
one match, fine. But it's that he's become too reliant on that whole fucking thing.
Yeah, I agree with you.
And it's a waste now because it's tarnishing what he's actually accomplished because he has interference every match that he's involved in now. And it's like, okay, dude, we get it. You're the head of the table. You're the fucking big dude. And that's what it is. But, you are tarnishing your legacy because it ruins the finishes of matches.
Yeah.
Especially when you do it every match. It's just so fucking repetitive.
And it goes back to that Cody Roman match. I mean, to see such a great match end in the way that it did with such a fuck finish, with Solo doing the spike and all that at the end, it deflated the entire night. And Stone Cold is picking up now for WWE, and he's saying, "Oh, it was the right move. Cody's not ready," and all bullshit. There'll be a better time. No, Cody lost. Okay, Cody lost. That's now on there. You lost on the biggest show. You can't come back from that. I don't care what they try to do.
I heard a rumor that fucking people are starting to fucking claim, and they're saying that fucking. This was Vince's plan all along, was to not give him the belt because he started AEW and he wants to punish him before he gives him the belt. That's not right, dude.
Cody has had interviews where he said he sat down with McMahon and he said, hey, I'm glad you want me back and everything, but I'm keeping my gear, I'm keeping my music, I'm keeping all that. And he goes, well, yeah, that's McMahon. That's what we're buying here. So to allow somebody to come in and make those type of demands and then hold a grudge,
of course,
at WrestleMania,
of course,
it is a very McMahon thing to do. But man,
what are we talking about?
What a bullshit fucking thing!
What are we talking about? As soon as I heard that, I went, "Holy fucking shit, dude! That makes so much fucking more sense now of why they did it that way."
Yeah. I just
doesn't that like put the doubt in your mind though, like instantly, because you're like, that's such a McMahon thing to do. That because it's almost so ridiculous to believe it. But then, like, you start to think about all the other things that he's done, and you're like, wait, that's not really that unbelievable. Yeah, that's like a fucking normal, that's like an everyday thing.
I was full on board with Cody. I knew he was going to win at WrestleMania.
Oh, yeah.
I was set up for it. And I mean, you can go back and listen to the podcast before those weeks. And, you know, I'm on there saying, well, he's going to be the type of champion they want him to be and all this. He's the perfect face for the company.
Yep.
And to make a decision like that, it's just not best for the company. It's not best for anyone involved. You know, it does no good. At the very least, just don't have that fuck finish at the end with Solo. You can still have
Roman go over, but have him go over clean.
Right, but you know, have the Bloodline get involved, KO and Sammy get involved. Like that ties night 1 into night 2. That makes sense to me.
Yeah.
Cody kicks out, Roman kicks out. Now you basically start fresh. Let it end clean from there.
Right.
There was just no need to do the fuck finish that just hurts Cody. It hurts Cody. It hurts Roman. It doesn't serve anything.
It's a fucking waste is what it is. And just like, think about the fans, dude, who bought those t-shirts. Finish the story.
Yeah.
The Hulk Hogan, S t-shirts, the WrestleMania fucking 7 t-shirt that they redid with Cody. Finish the story on it. And I was like, there's no fucking way that they're putting all this promotion behind him just to have him lose. And then I was like, wow. Now, I wouldn't have done that. No two ways about it. Like, and I love healing it up and fucking like doing the most heel thing possible, but it was not the right call. Like, it's the time to switch it. He's had it for long enough, clearly. I mean, it's the time to fucking switch it out and give it to Cody and let him run with it for a little while. Listen, you can always bring Roman back to win it back if Cody doesn't work out. The chances of Cody not working out with that title, though,
slim to none.
I mean, there's no fucking way, dude.
Yeah.
He would break every bone in his body to do whatever he needed to do for that belt.
But Cody wins the belt, right? Let's just say that. Cody wins the belt. Then you go into the draft. Oh, hey, Cody, by the way, you're drafted to SmackDown, and you have to give up one of the titles. That hurts nobody. And now Cody has a chip on his shoulder because now one of the titles is being taken away from him.
Right.
You know?
And he's pissed. And you could even turn him heel at that point.
Could turn him heel, keep him face, give him something else to fight for. He's trying to figure out a way to, unify the titles again, something. Whatever.
It's so
There's
fucking...
a million ways you can go with that. And again, that's somebody that you can now put up against anyone. It's a clean slate. He can go up against anyone. The first competitor, boom, Seth Rollins. Why? I'm the one that put you out.
I mean, anybody, dude. Anybody. Everything becomes a fresh matchup at that point. Now, Roman has kicked the shit out of everybody possible. There's no one else to beat. He's beat everyone. Retire as champion. Just retire now. Fucking take a Legends contract and just fucking cool out in the sun, bro.
That would be interesting. The draft happens. They go to draft him. He says, nope. Ladies and titles in the ring. I'm done. I have nothing else to prove. I am the head of the table. And I'm going to leave as head of the table.
I would fucking pop so out of my shorts. I would be like, that is the greatest fucking thing I've ever seen in my entire life. That dude's going in the Hall of Fame right now.
Immediately. Ray's still wrestling, and he's in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah, I don't know what the fuck that's
It's not even WrestleMania, but you know what? Put him in the Hall anyway. Have a special Hall of Fame moment just for Roman Reigns right now.
I don't understand. Well, this has been Pro Wrestling Summit WWE Saturday. Make sure you reach out to us on Instagram at Pro Wrestling Summit. On Twitter at PW Summit. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe. Tune in for the rest of the weekend. Peace!